Hi, how are you doing? This is IBM-i By Doing. This is Madhu Vasudevan, Certified Cloud Professional, PMP and Developer with over 20 years of work experience on the IBM-i or I-Series or AS400 systems at your service. Welcome to IBM-i By Doing, a series of sessions in which we perform hands-on interactions with IBM-i system, specifically programming in RPGLE. And we begin from scratch. The target audience is aspiring IBM-i RPG developers. Join us in our IBM-i journey in which we explore the programming language RPGLE. Welcome to this session on environment setup. First, we will register for a free account on pub400.com. Then we will download and install and configure the TN5250 terminal emulator. Finally, we will create and run our first RPGLE program. The code for this program is in this video's description. As you can see, I am working from a free Windows server offered by the AWS Cloud free tier. There is a link in this video's description to another of my videos on how you can sign up for the AWS free tier, launch such a Windows 10 desktop, and use it for free for an year. But feel free to proceed with your personal laptop or desktop computer. All you need is an internet-connected computer with a few MBs of disk space to install a compatible TN5250 client terminal emulator. Visual Studio Code has a plugin extension called Code for IBM-i, which makes the versatile VS Code a great IDE for coding RPGLE. But I think new RPG programmers need to soak in the fabled green screen and learn RPG in the native IBM-i environment. So we will stick to the client access breed of green screen terminal emulators for these sessions. So let's get started and register for a free pub400.com account. Launch the Chrome browser. Navigate to pub400.com. Click on the Sign Up Now button on the left bottom. In the pub400.com sign up screen, fill in your first name, fill in your last name, key in your email address. Note that Gmail, Hotmail, and Yahoo email IDs will not work. I used an AOL email ID. Key in a preferred username, which will be checked for availability. So if I was John or Ram, I would append a digit or two to my name. Click on the underlined link, These Behavior Rules. In the New Browser tab, read the rules for pub400.com. A shout out to the folks at pub400.com for their yeoman service of providing a free but excellent platform for newbies to bond with the redoubtable IBM-i server. Close the New Browser tab. Back in the pub400.com sign up page, check the Yes, I have read the rules disclaimer. Click on the Submit button. Check your email. You will get one from pub400 asking you to confirm your access request by clicking on a link. Click on the link to confirm your email identity. Check your email inbox again. Shortly, you will get a second email from pub400 with your user ID and initial sign-on password. I got mine within 5 minutes. Note your initial sign-on password. We have successfully registered for a free pub400.com account. Let's download and install the free TN5250 emulator. Launch your favorite browser. In the new browser window, navigate to www.sourceforge.net/projects/tn5250/. This URL is provided in this video's description. In the TN5250 Telnet client page, click on the download button. Your download will start shortly. As indicated in the bottom left, the TN5250 setup.exe file will start downloading. After download completes, click on the up arrow next to the downloaded file name. Click the Open option. If Windows asks you to grant access to allow the setup program to run, allow it. Close the browser window. In the Setup pop-up window asking to continue, click Yes. In the Setup Wizard's welcome screen, click Next. In the License Agreement screen, click Yes to agree to the terms. For destination directory, accept the default and click Next. Accept the default Start menu folder and click Next. In the Ready to Install screen, click Install. Select the character map that the emulator should use. I accepted the default offered for my country. In the Information page, click Next. In the final setup screen, click Finish. Click on the Windows Start icon. Note that the TN5250 emulator application has been recently added. We have successfully downloaded and installed the free TN5250 terminal emulator. Let's configure the TN5250 terminal emulator and start a session on Pub 400. Click on the Windows Start icon. Note that the TN5250 emulator application has been recently added. Right-click on the TN5250 icon, click on the More option, click on the Open File location. In the File Explorer window, right-click on the highlighted TN5250 application, click on the Send To option, and choose Desktop Create Shortcut. Close the File Explorer window. On the Windows desktop, right-click on the TN5250 icon and select Properties. In the TN5250 Properties window, under the Shortcut tab, in the Target field, add the following configuration options: plus resize _fonts, space start quotes, font _80 equals Courier New, close quote, space env.term equals IBM-3477-FC space pub400.com. This is also available in this video's description. Click on Apply. Then click on OK. Double-click on the configured TN5250 desktop icon to start the emulator application. Note that TN5250 has already established a connection to the IBM-i server at pub400.com. Expand the application window to full screen. In the username field, key in the user profile name confirmed by the pub400 email. That was mine. Tap to the password field. Key in the password assigned to you in the pub400 email. Best not to cut and paste the password, but key it in and hit enter. You would be shown the change password screen. Key in the same password again in the current password field. Then tab over to the new password field and enter a new alphanumeric password. Best not to use shift key or control characters and keep it about 8 characters long. Tab over to the verify password field and key in your new password again and hit enter. If you followed the password rules, you are signed on to the IBM-i server and shown the rock-solid evergreen IBM-i main menu. Note the menu object name main on the top left of the screen. Note the server name pub400 on the top right. Key in the number 90 and hit enter. You are signed off the system. Back in the pub400 sign-on screen, key in your username, tab over to the password field and key in your new and secret password, then hit enter. You are signed on to the IBM-i main menu and you are in business. We have successfully configured TN5250 terminal emulator and started a session on pub400. Let's create an RPGLE program and run it. Welcome to this session on Intro to RPG4 or RPGLE. In the command line, enter the command to display the library list and hit enter. Note *curlib, your current library, is your user profile suffix 1. Any program objects you compile will by default get created in this current library of 1 appended to your user profile. Press F3 to return to command line. Enter the command worklib, your user profile name and * to work with all libraries whose names begin with your user profile. Hit enter. Key in number 12 to look at the objects in our second library. Hit enter. We will create our program objects in this empty library. Press F3 to return to work with our library. Key in number 12 to look at the objects in our first library and hit enter. pub400 has created a few source physical files to hold our source codes. Hit F3 to return to work with our libraries. F3 again to return to the command line. Key in the command change current library, your user profile name and the number 2 to change current library to our second library and hit enter. Enter the command dsplibl again to display the modified library list. Hit enter. Now any program objects you compile will by default get created in this current library of 2 appended to your user profile. Press F3 to return to command line. We will create a source physical file first to hold our RPGLE program source codes. Key in the command crt srcpf to create source physical file and press F4 for command prompt. For file, key in qrpgle src and for library, your current library. Tab over to make the record length 112. Tab over to text and key in RPGLE source code. Hit enter. Note success message in the bottom line. Key in the command strpdm to start the program development manager and hit enter. Take a 3 to work with members. Hit enter. Take defaults for file name and library and hit enter. There are no members yet in our source physical file. Press F6 to create a new member. Now we are in start SEU, source entry utility command. For source member, key in hello world. For type, key in RPGLE. Tab over. For text, hello world program and hit enter. In the source entry utility, key in these program code lines without hitting the enter key. You can use tab, up arrow, down arrow, whatever works, but avoid the enter key. We will explore the nuances of the source entry utility or IBM-i's program editor in a future video. For now, just key in this code using arrow keys for navigation, up arrow to the command line and key in the command file to save and exit. Hit enter. Key in a 5 against the member name hello world to display the content of source member hello world. Hit enter. Press F3 to exit out of the browse mode. Key in a 14 to create bound RPG program. Hit enter. Note success message in the bottom line. Program hello world placed in library Madhu v2. Key in a C to call our hello world program and hit enter. Note the output from our program display hello world at the bottom. Ignore previous messages if any and press enter to continue. Key in a 2 to edit the content of member hello world and hit enter. Navigate down to the line display hello world. Press insert key and key in the exclamation mark after the world. Press F3 to exit out of the edit. Key in a Y to change and create member and hit enter. Note message in the bottom line. Member hello world in file madhuv2/QRPGLE src changed. Key in a 14 again to create the bound RPG program. Key in a Y in confirm compile of member screen to delete existing program object and create a newly modified one. Hit enter. Note success message in the bottom line saying program hello world placed in library madhuv2. This time let's tab over to the command line and call hello world. To call the program. Commands, object and member names are not case sensitive. Hit enter. Note the modified output from our program. Display hello world exclamation mark. DSPLY is the command or verb and hello world is the content or message. Hit enter to continue. Press F3 to exit from the work member PDM screen. F3 again to exit from the PDM command. From the command line, key in the command work live. Your user profile name star to work with all libraries whose names begin with your user profile. Take a 12 against your second library to look at the objects in the second library. Note the physical file to hold our RPGLE program source code members and our first RPGLE Hello World program. Take an F3 to come back to work with libraries, another F3 to get to the command line, and a 90 to sign off. Close the TN5250 application window. Congratulations! As you can see, we have officially marked all our milestones off our list. We have signed up for a free account at pub400.com. We downloaded, installed and configured the free TN5250 terminal emulator. We signed on to the IBM-i server pub400.com and created our first working RPGLE Hello World program. Hope it was worth your time. To keep me motivated to produce more of such high quality free content, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button below, leave a comment or two, and share this video with your colleagues, friends and other IBM-i fans. We will resume our RPGLE journey in the next session. Until then, this is Madhu Vasudevan wishing you a very happy IBM-i by doing. Stay tuned.